This is the third video in the playing card design series. In this video, I'm going to show you how to create the design of your card. Now, everyone's going to have a different idea, so your project might not be made exactly the same way that my project is going to be. So let's go ahead and take a look at the background that I created in the second video. So what I need to do is take the panda. I'm going to use the magnifying glass and enlarge part of it. You may need to, my panda is actually 2 layers, but if yours is only 1 layer and you have the padlock on it, you're going to need to double click the padlock and click OK to unlock that layer. So now what I'm going to do is grab the polygonal lasso tool, and I'm going to very carefully go around this image and try to cut out as carefully as I can around the panda. And I don't have to do the whole panda at once. I can just do one little section. For example, I can do this much. Touch the beginning and the end spots of the lasso and then hit delete on the keyboard, and it helps if you're on the right layer. So let me click the right layer and hit delete, and you can see that I have that cut out. So I've already cut the whole panda out right here, and I didn't cut out this section because I knew that would be off of the card and I wasn't going to waste my time. So I'm going to take this tab and I'm going to pull it down so that it's separated, and I'm going to go back to my playing card design. I'm going to take the move tool, I'm going to click and drag on the panda and drop it onto the background. And there we go. So now the panda is slightly too small, so I'm going to position it where I need it. Because I have the move tool selected and show transform control, I have handles around the panda. So I'm going to use the corner handle and hold down shift so that I don't distort it, and I'm just going to drag it, click and drag, and make it as big as I need to. And then click the check mark. So I'm going to scoot it over. Something about, use the arrow keys, something about like that. Now there's several ways that I could cut off these branches that are sticking off the side, but I think one of the easiest ways is just to get the marquee tool and, oops, I still have it set to fixed size 4x6 from the last video, so I'm going to change that to normal instead of fixed size. Then I'm going to click and drag a box and hit delete. And it looks like I need to delete a little bit more, so I'm going to click and drag and hit delete, and then I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Delete and Control D to deselect. Alright, so far that looks pretty good. Now in the original card there was a gradient on the background that went from light to dark. Depending on your project, you might want a solid color background or you might want a gradient. So for my project, I'm going to click the background layer, get the magic wand tool, and select it. Then over here, I want it to fade from blue to white. So I'm going to double click on this green and change it to white and click OK. Then I'm going to get the gradient tool, which is grouped together with the paint bucket, and double check up here that the gradient that I want is selected. Whoops, cancel. So now I'm going to click and drag inside this box, and oops, I actually wanted the white at the top, so I'm going to click and drag going the other direction. And that is just about what I wanted. So, very nice. So, Control D to deselect. Now I'm going to take my Chinese writing, separate the tabs, take the move tool, drag it over, get rid of this. And this is way too small. So again, with the Move tool selected and Show Transform Control, I'm going to use the corner, hold down Shift, and drag this to the size that I need it to be, about like that, and click the check mark. Now, I want it to see my background, my blue background. So what I'm going to do is in the Layers panel, where this says Normal, I'm going to change it to Multiply. And these Chinese characters being black is a little bit distracting. So over here in Opacity, I'm going to pop that menu open and back it off until I think it looks good, which 17% looks good to me. Now what I'm going to do, again, is use the Marquee tool and just chop off the parts that go on the outside. Hit Delete, select them, and hit Delete, and Control D to deselect. Alright, so far it looks very good. The last thing that I'm going to do is put the bamboo stalk with the 10 diamonds in it. So over here with the brush tool, I want this green. So actually what I'm going to do first is get the eyedropper and click on the green so that I have it on my paint chip down here. So with the brush selected, I'm just going to, whoops, I need to make a new layer just for the bamboo. So I want it to be above the panda. So I'm going to click the panda, create a new layer. Now I'm going to click one dot, hold down Shift, and click another dot up here. Then I'm going to take the magnifying glass and the eraser, and I'm going to erase it so it looks like the bamboo stalk is behind the paw. There we go. And I want to chop off the end so it doesn't look rounded, so I'll just delete that, chop off this end. Looks like a bamboo stalk so far. Then I'm going to double click this and get a little bit of a darker green and get the paintbrush, make it a little bit smaller, give myself some squiggles on here. Draw some stems coming off. Then I'll get the custom shape tool, and it's already set to the diamonds, so I'll start dragging some little tiny diamond shapes on here, and I'm going to take off Show Transform Control and rotate those little shapes. So that they attach to the branch. So I'm not going to bother to finish putting all 10 of those on there because you can see what it looks like in the final product here. So again, everybody's project is going to be a little bit different. So you might end up doing some things differently than I did. And please feel free to ask me and feel free to ask other students in the class if you have an idea but you don't know how to do it. Let me know and I can help you out. That's it for this video. Oh, and don't forget to save this as a PSD and then save it as a JPEG and put it on the Photoshop page of your photo portfolio. That's it for now.